Hello chess family, it's me National Master Jesse James. It's time for another installment of How to Play the London System. And this one we're going to be taking a look at the very nice trap here, which unfortunately for me I have failed in. I was playing the black side of this London System, and I fell for this trap. And well, we're going to learn how to play this trap as white. Well, let's go ahead and get to it. Here we go. We start off with d4, knight f6, bishop to f4, pawn to e6, pawn to e3, c5, one of the best ways to play against London. Pawn c3, knight c6, knight f3, pawn to d5, knight b to d2, bishop to d6. London players, what are you playing? Of course, bishop g3 here. We're not going to take. We're going to go ahead and hope that they take and give us this open h-file. Castles, bishop to d3, the best diagonal for this bishop, getting ready to attack on h7. And then here, well, this is the start of where you can start thinking, hey, black is probably playing wrong here, and I should be thinking about this trap. Queen to e7. What's so wrong with this move? Well, this move is played by those that really don't have a plan for the system. Here, you might see this queen c7 idea, which the trap works here still. And here we just end up playing d takes c5. Notice that, well, if you do take on g3, well, again, pawn just takes. And here we notice we cannot take on c5 because of the pin. So black tries to be smart and plays queen to e7 here. But again, there is a new trap for this one over here. And here, what's the idea of queen e7? Very common move here. Black is trying to play pawn to e5. What do we do here to stop e5? London players know this. Knight to e5. We're going to stop this pawn push because remember, if they get the pawn move in to e5, they're going to be equal if not better. Remember, this is going to let out the bishop, and black has very good chances, especially because they hit equality. With that being said, knight to e5 gets played. And then here, well, black never really wants to take on e5. If they ever do, d takes on e5. And then here, we're going to see that this pawn wedge is going to be very good for us as white. So black doesn't play that. Instead, black again tries to be crafty and plays knight to d7. Why are they playing this? Well, here they have the idea of playing pawn to f6 to kick the knight. This typically would be a good idea, but there's been lots of tactics and ways of playing against this. And then, well, we have an idea here also. And here, believe it or not, we have the very nice move. Knight takes d7 here. And already black is in a tough position. And here, well, I say 10 out of 10 people are going to be playing this move even though it's wrong. I mean, it's kind of hard not to play this move because, well, if you had known better, you would have not played this line at all. But here, you're supposed to be playing queen takes on d7 here. Why? Well, after bishop takes d7, the most common move, here the trap has been sprung. Here we go. We go bishop takes d6, queen takes, d takes on c5. I mean, who doesn't take the pawn here? Queen takes on c5, and, well, you're more than welcome to push pause here if you want to figure out, or try to figure out what to play here as white. All right, hopefully you push pause. Hopefully you try to figure it out. Remember, when we're looking at these positions, it's checks, captures, and threats. And this one's no different. Here we go. We play bishop takes on h7 check here. And the king has to accept. I mean, literally, the king has to accept. If king h8 gets played, queen h5 here, and, well, the bishop's going to be moving back. Checkmate is going to be right around the corner. With that being said, king takes on h7, queen to h5 check, king to g8, and the whole idea here is to bring the knight to g5. Knight f3, too slow. Here black sees your idea and just plays f6, and they're just up an extra piece. And, well, here's the move that you had to find earlier. We actually play the move here, knight to e4, getting a free tempo off the queen here. Oh my gosh, and this is just lost here because, well, the knight's going to achieve g5, and there's no time to play your f6 move. And, well, again, there's just nothing good to play here in general. Oof. With that being said, most likely black was going to play queen to c4 here. They're going to try to figure that, hey, I can go queen to d3 here and cover the h7 square. This also does not work. I will show you how it is stopped. But in the game, knight g5 was played. And here, black just kind of gave up and played rook f to d8, trying to give the king an escape square. We're going to see how white battles against this idea and just conquers real fast. With that being said, if they do try to play queen to d3, well, you want to try to figure this one out again? It's white to move. What do you play here to cover this h7 square so that, well, you can get the checkmate? Here, simple chess. Here, you play pawn to e4, and black is again embarrassed because they notice that they cannot save this square from happening. It almost transposes like in this game. But here, we'll go back to the main line. Rook f to d8. And here, well, we don't go to h7 check because the king will be able to run over here pretty easily. So we go ahead and go queen takes f7 check, king h8, queen h5 check, king g8, queen f7 check again. Here, white has a very nice idea. King to h8, And then they go ahead and play pawn to h4. Here they have quite a few ideas here. Of course, you can go pawn grabbing, but I think the idea here is, well, we're going to try to get this rook into the game. If the rook gets into the game, it's going to be game over. With that being said, this is already a plus 2.6, basically up a piece in this position for white. Even though they are down a piece, this king is just too vulnerable. Black went ahead and tried knight to e5 here. Oof, undefended pieces, be careful. Queen to h5 check, king to g8, and now a nice move here, castles queenside. Here a move that most people would not really consider too hard because, well, don't you just lose the pawn on a2? Well, you do, but here comes our counterattack. Queen h7 check, king to f8, queen h8 check, king e7, queen takes g7 check, king to d6. This is all force. And, well, here we go ahead and play this nice spicy move, knight to e4 check, all because this rook is on the d file here. The knight check comes very nicely. The king goes to c6, and now we simply just take here on e5. Well, black can, of course, take here. This is not what they're going to play. After pawn takes right here, rook to d6 check, and here, well, you're going to be walking into a discovery, so the queen will be lost, worst case scenario, if you can't find a win here, which I hope you can. Here the king goes c7, so again, rook a6 is an idea. Maybe you can try some other things, but yep, lots of different ideas here that should be winning. So here in the game, after queen takes e5, black went ahead and tried queen to a1 check, king to d2. Notice that c2 was not played because, well, queen a4 check, and then the tides have turned. Here we see that the queen is now forking over here, and, well, b3 over here. Queen takes on e4 check, trading off queens, and you are down a piece. Don't get me wrong, white might have some decent chances here, only just because these pawns over here, but, well, this pawn's actually stopping the third one. Maybe this is not going to be as good as I want. Computer's giving this a -2, but I wouldn't be surprised if white would be able to win some of these games because, well, past pawns can speak for themselves. With that being said, king d2 got played to stop queen a4 check, and here queen takes b2 check, king to e1, and now again rook to c8. Again, the knight is taboo. If d takes on e4, again rook to d6 check just gets played, and here again the queen's going to be hanging after king c7 with something as simple as rook to d2. Alright, back to the game. Rook a c8 got played, and then here white finishes the game quite nicely here. Knight to d6, a nice surprising move here, attacking the rook. Rook up to c7, and knight to c4 here. Another beautiful move here. Again, we see that queen to d6 check is just too powerful here. And, well, this is a nice little forking move too because it's attacking both the queen and the square. I'm not sure what black can even try here. In the game, they just play queen c2. Again, if you take, what's the move here? Well, rook to d6 is just checkmate. You can even play queen d6 check if you want to and harass and grab. You're still winning in this position regardless. But with that being said, queen c2 got played. Queen to d6 check, and, well, it is just checkmate in 2 moves here. I'll go ahead and let you find the final 2 moves. After king b5, what do you play here for checkmate in 2? Alright, hopefully you push pause. Hopefully you tried to figure this out. What's the final move here? Here it's going to be queen to b4 check. And it doesn't matter if king a6 or c6 gets played. If a6 gets played, you can play queen to a5 checkmate. And, of course, if the king goes to c6, you get the nice knight to e5 checkmate. With that being said, in the game after king to b5, here the move queen takes d7 check was played. Rook takes d7, knight a3 check was being threatened, so black just went ahead and resigned. Sometimes when we see a good position, it's hard for us to take a second and find the best move. With that being said, this is still a very nice trap. Hope you guys remember this one will happen whenever they're playing the basic setup and they go queen to e7. So when they play queen e7 here, hopefully a little ding ding in your head gets played, and you'll try to remember it's going to be bishop takes. Well, it's whenever they go knight e5, knight to d7, we take on d7, bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, bishop takes on h7 check, king takes, queen h5 check, king over, and now the whole idea, knight to e4 to get that free tempo off the queen. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next video.